Órale, Cholo Choco, los tres chingones boxing shots of the chingones y chingonas. All right, man. If you guys don't know, well, now you're about to know. And that is that Top Rank and ESPN are no more. All right. And the big news to all that is that boxing is not on a major network anymore. First time since forever. Uh, Look, man, definitely the times are changing. All right. We've seen this coming for years now. All right. The WWE, I'm a big wrestling fan. The WWE actually, their Monday Night Raw is on Netflix, and people complained about that, right? And a lot of these streaming apps are really picking up steam. The NFL, right? The NFL has some games on some streaming apps. Not all their games. Most of the games are still going to be on network television. But what I'm trying to get to here is that so like the WWE, all their they don't have pay-per-views. They actually ended pay-per-views a few years back. And instead, they're called PLEs, premium live events, instead of pay per views. Once upon a time, there were pay per views, and there was one every single month. So, what did they do? They got rid of pay per views, started calling them PLEs, and guess what? They went to Peacock. So, if you're with Peacock, you could get all those PLEs. They're no longer known as pay per views, right? So, when it comes to boxing here, so many damn pay-per-views and all that stuff. And it's like, good gosh, how the heck do you even keep up with all this? But here's the thing when it comes to sports channels, okay? Over time, sports channels have become much more specific on what it is that you want to watch. I have not sat down and watched ESPN in years. Years. Okay. ESPN, you got ESPN, you got ESPN2, you got ESPN Deportes, you got ESPN News, ESPNU, right? You got all that stuff. Once upon a time, once upon a time, things like that really work. But today, who's really going to sit down and watch ESPN to just wait for something that you're interested to pop up? And who knows how much they talk about it? Because in reality, I didn't hear ESPN talk about boxing at all. Yeah, sure, they will show the fights. I mean, if you want to go back to when they were doing ESPN Friday Night Fights, heck yeah, that was badass, homie. That was Friedemann. I was tapped in every single Friday. They got rid of that. It's been years now. But when it comes to sport networks, it's not what it once was. Now you got all these other networks that have popped up that target a specific audience. If you're just into baseball, there's a channel for you. If you're just into football, there's the NFL network, right? There's the MLB network. There's the NBA. And even with that, you can even get more specific. I'm a Dodgers fan from LA, homie. I'm a Dodgers fan. The Dodgers have their own channel. Why the hell am I going to tune in to a channel that covers all sports, sports that I may not even be into, just to wait to hear about a team that I really care about when all that's gone? Now I could just tap in to a channel or podcast. There's numerous of podcasts that just cover your specific team or your specific sport. So if you want to, if you're a big NASCAR guy, you know how many podcasts? It's funny. It trips people out to know that I do like NASCAR. There's so many podcasts out there. I don't need to wait and watch some sports network that's gonna be talking about, what's going on in the Eastern Conference of the NBA to wait and see, man, I really want to hear about some boxing. Man, I really want to hear about my Dodgers. I really want to hear about what's going on in baseball. Really want to hear about what's going on in NASCAR. But I got to sit here and listen to what's happening in the Eastern Conference when I don't even really care about basketball. And in hopes, just in hopes that they talk about something that I'm interested, just in hopes that they mention one of my teams, just in hopes that they talk about. And if they do talk about it, are they just going to mention it? Are they just going to glance right through it? Or are they going to take a deep dive in it? The world has definitely changed, man. It's definitely changed. I don't know. And I've been seeing this coming for years. I used to listen to 710 ESPN. It's the ESPN radio station out in LA. I have not listened to that station in years. Because if I want to listen, if I want to hear about something, if I want to get the inside scoop about something, there are so many platforms that get specific about whatever it is that you're looking for. Just like boxing. Just like boxing. If you want to hear about boxing, hey, you go on YouTube, you go on Spotify, you go to all these other, man, there's boxing all over the place. Are you going to tune into ESPN? Because in reality, ESPN, to the best of my knowledge, they don't even cover boxing. The only time they'll cover boxing is after there's a fight on ESPN. And that's just for a short period of time. The UFC, they got their thing going on. But, my point is that these times it's changed the game. It's over. In my opinion, I think we're going to get to a point where we're going to have some streaming app that covers nothing but pure boxing because that's where we're headed. If you take a look around at sports channels, right? You got Fox Sports, you got ESPN, you got CBS Sports, you got nobody's watching these damn things. At least not when the actual sporting event is not happening. When you have an actual sporting event, I'm watching ESPN when there's a fight going on. Outside of that, I'm not watching. If there's something specific, if there's a specific sporting event going on that I'm interested in one of these sports channels, that's the time that I'm watching. Outside of that, I'm not watching, Holmes, because yes, I love sports, but I can go get my information on a channel, a podcast, numerous of them that target just that one specific area that I am interested in. Not let me hear what's going on in tennis. Let us show you what's going on in the golf course. Man, I don't care about any of that, dog. Shout outs to everybody shout outs to everybody who's into all these sports. That's fine. That's freedom, man. But I'm not interested in all this, man. I'm interested in what I'm interested in. And if you're not going to talk about it and take a deep dive into it, then dog, what am I tuning in for? You think I care what's going on you know, some soccer game. And again, I'm not disrespecting these sports. I am saying I myself am not into it. If you are, you are. But and not just boxing, the whole sports world is changing. And the way we're going to be consuming this stuff, I mean, it's going to be different. It's definitely going to be different. Now, is all boxing going to end up on the zone? I don't know. You know, it's one thing. Like a lot of this sports stuff, dog. Even when you get these streaming apps, when they want to go ahead and have these apps, right? Like ESPN went to ESPN Plus. And it's like, okay, I guess I'll have to get some ESPN Plus going just for certain fights. But at the same time, you gotta make it worth it too, because if you're not having that many fights, then what the heck do I have ESPN Plus for? I don't want ESPN. I don't need ESPN Plus. I only have it just for the fights. So I'm not even getting all that bang for my buck either. Because you're giving me all this other product, just like the zone. If it weren't for boxing, what the hell do I want the zone for? The zone has all these other stuff on there that I couldn't care any less. I could not care any less. So are we one day gonna have a platform where it's boxing and only boxing? I don't think that's too far-fetched. Whether it's DAZN or some other platform, I don't think it's too far-fetched, man. And I'm not saying this year, next year, but in the next few years, I could see, I could see, some platform coming forward and saying this is all boxing, 100% boxing. You're not going to see anything else on here except for boxing. But the times, the times for your ESPNs, not just with boxing, but I'm saying it with boxing because that's what we're on right here. But just in sports in general, is that I think those days are done, man. I'm not really sure if guys or anybody is just going to sit down and watch 30 minutes of ESPN while you're over there talking about sport, the world across all sports, when they're just looking for specifically what they're interested. And that's available now. And it's been available for a while now with podcasts and other channels. And yeah, it's definitely a game changer. So listening to Bob Arum, he said he may still work with ESPN, probably not sign one deal, probably just kind of work with different networks depending on what fights he's looking to put on. But it's definitely a different world, not just in boxing, but just in sports in general, on how we're consuming it. No longer does anybody need to sit through something that they're not interested in to get to what they're interested in. Now you could just get it as soon as you want because it's all out there now. So let's see what happens to some of these networks, man. Let's see what happens to some of these networks. I really like baseball. I tune into the MLB network. I really like the Dodgers. The Dodgers have their own specific channel. Football, they have their own specific channel. But while I hear about my Steelers, there's numerous of podcasts that I'm subscribed to where I just want to hear about my team. NASCAR, numerous of podcasts that I listen to. Same thing with boxing. But when it comes to boxing, The problem that they have is these pay-per-view huge fights. And don't think the Turk is not looking at this. Because he is. He is, man. But you guys let me know, man. What's your guys' thoughts on boxing no longer on network television? It was coming. All right. It was coming. The WWE Monday Night Raw, which is their flagship show, is not on network television. It is on Netflix. They still have NXT and SmackDown on television on the USA Network. Yes, but their flagship show, Monday Night Raw, it's actually on Netflix, and they did away with pay-per-views, which is, as a consumer, I love wrestling. As a consumer, I enjoy it. It's like, as long as you're subscribed to Peacock, that's it. You get them all. So what's your guys' thoughts, man? You know, I heard a lot of bad things of like, oh man, boxing is going away from, network television. Yeah, but I mean, everything is though, to a certain degree. But what's your guys' thoughts on it? Cholo Trucker, los tres chingones, boxing shots, all the chingones y chingonas. Catch you guys on next round.